Alright, hi everyone, it's Afam here again for MTGOntario, and I know it's been a long time since I've done a draft video, and I know I don't want to sound like a broken record or anything, but I know I said I want to trying to keep this a little bit more consistent than I have been, but unfortunately I've been really busy the last couple of weeks. Some of you might know that I've been working about 3 part-time jobs to save up money for my upcoming trips. And I finally just finished one of my jobs, so I still have about a couple more jobs to do that I'm working at until I leave in February. A couple of things that were in the news recently, in terms of Magic. GP Hamburg unfortunately has been cancelled and will not be replaced according to the Magic the Gathering website. And that's a little unfortunate because that was one of my stops on my European trip, but there's an upside and a downside to all of this. The downside is that it's one less event that can possibly qualify me for Nagoya, and the upside to it is that it costs me less in terms of hotels and whatnot. The time that I'm going to be in Europe is the same amount of time, but I don't have to pay for additional flights to Germany and back, obviously, and I don't have to pay for the hotels during that time. And instead what I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to be staying in Japan longer, and because I have a lot of friends there in Japan that I can stay with, so that should be a lot better. Plus, my ticket to Japan is really expensive anyway, so spending more time in Japan just makes a lot more sense to me anyways. So getting more money and more value out of that ticket seems a lot more worthwhile to me anyways. And I still kind of wanted to go to Hamburg, but what can you do, right? Luckily for me, I haven't booked a ticket for it, so I'm not out of that, but it would have been really awkward if I did, because I'd then be in Hamburg for a week. So, yeah, awkward. Anyways, let's get on with this draft. This pack's pretty good. Oh my god. Pack 1, pick 1. You got a Trigon of Corruption, a Contagion class on Arrest, a Galvanic Blast as your removal spells, and it's pretty sweet. Other notable cards are Chrome Steed, Ichor Rat, sorry. Not Ichor Claw. Ichor Rats, Chrome Steed, and maybe Nurok Replica? I don't know, like a couple of sack outlets here and there, yeah. I think the pick here is between Clasp and maybe Arrest. I really like Trigon of Corruption. It's a colorless removal spell and it's reusable and it goes in everything. Clasp also goes in everything, and it combos really well with Infect. Sort of like Trigon of Corruption does as well, but it's a little bit slower, but it's more of like a long game, more control-ish card. Arrest, Galvanic Blast are the other options, but they kind of commit you to a color. I think I'm leaning toward the Clasp here, and my preference is to draft Infect wherever possible, so I'm just going to go that route and see what comes of that. Alright then. This is awkward. Argent Sphinx, huh? Galvanic Blast, huh? Well, I just passed a Galvanic Blast. There is an uncommon missing from this pack, so there might have been like a Skin Render or Oxida Scrap Melter or something like that taken. Passing the Galvanic Blast doesn't necessarily mean I can't take the Galvanic Blast here either, because there's a chance. I think the next card that the next person would take is either Trigon or Arrest, and then maybe Galvanic Blast, or maybe even still like the other of the 2 cards I mentioned earlier. I think that we can actually think, like, we're already 1 artifact in. We're not committed to something like Infect, obviously. Taking Argent Sphinx here seems fine. We could also try and keep our options a little bit more open and take Galvanic Blast because it's splashable. I'm going to take the Sphinx because I like it. I think it's actually a strong enough beater. And, although I don't think blue is a very strong color in this format, this is probably strong enough to put me in blue. Coppermere, probably. Memnite, Throne of Geth. Like, Nurok and Visimancer is like the one blue card here that is worth noting, but I'm not going to take it at this point in the draft. I think it's just between Manamere and maybe Throne of Geth, and I haven't seen any signal for an Infect deck to come about, and Throne of Geth is kind of weak at this point. Memnite doesn't feel like a card, so I'm going to take the Coppermere out of this pack. Yep. So, this pack's full blanks. Interesting. Stoic Rebuttal, maybe. Like, I don't see a signal for any particular color here. Morak Reaver is pretty weak. Flameborn Hellion's alright, it's not the greatest. I don't want to take it 4th pick into pack 1. Flight Spellbomb, again, it's alright, but kind of weak. I don't think I want to take any of these cards, and to be honest, I don't actually have any Darkstick Shores yet. I'm going to pick it up right now, and I'm shamelessly going to rare draft at this point. I don't feel too bad. We're probably just passing, like maybe missing out on a Stoic Rebuttal. If we're lucky, we might get it on the way back. We'll see. I don't feel too bad if we wheel a Flight Spellbomb either, so we'll see. That's a really late Cyst Bear. Like, really late Cyst Bear. That's 5th pick? I think it's a signal is strong enough for me to go into Infect at this point. I mean, we lose 1 pick out of the Argent Sphinx. Out of that last pack, we took the Darkstick Shores, which could have been a Morak Reaver that doesn't even help us. The pack before, the Coppermere, could have been a Throne of Geth, so I don't think we're too far in the hole here. And the Coppermere also helps us with our Infect plan anyways. I mean, it's green, so... I mean, on-color mirror is always good. So yes, taking Cyst Bear here, I think, is fine. Other cards worth knowing is maybe Riddlesmith to go blue, or Instill Infection, but I can't turn down a 5th pick Cyst Bear. I think it's strong enough for me to take. Yeah, my hunch is correct, and Ichorclaw Rats seems like the pick here. Other cards worth noting is Chrome Steed and Iron Mirror. Maybe Trigon Infestation. Oh, there was also a Trigon Infestation earlier on, but I don't particularly like that card, even in Infect, because it feels really slow. I mean, I much prefer to have Trigon of Corruption, obviously, but... Anyways, Ichorclaw Rats in this pack, and taking it. Genesis Wave, Horizon Spellbomb. Jeez. Genesis Wave is so sick. Horizon Spellbomb would go up a lot more in value if our Argent Sphinx picks was a Galvanic Blast, but I mean, if we had a Galvanic Blast in this, like, I think the Spellbomb would be the pick, no question, but I think that we can take the Genesis Wave here, sort of cut off a green signal, and probably help us more out for like pack 2, so we'll see where it goes from there. Nothing really in this pack. Wall of Tanglecore is a very solid card, and I'm very happy to pick it up here. So, yeah. Other cards worth noting was probably like the Shield, maybe. Withstand Death's nothing that exciting, but it's a fine trick for an Infect deck, so I'll take it. I'm going to go ahead and hide the Argent Sphinx for right now. Blister Grub's not great, but it's okay against us, so I'll just take it out. This pack's a bunch of do-nothings. I will take out the... kind of seize the initiative, I guess. In Magic-related news, recently I've just been like testing Extended a lot. Well, not really a lot. Like, a lot of it's just pretty much been in theory, just brewing up decks and reading about stuff online. I played a PTQ on Saturday, this last weekend, and I made top 8 but lost in the quarterfinals. Unfortunately, could not runner PTQs, so I may or may not post up a tournament report in the next week or so. If someone on MTGOntario posts up a tournament report about probably Maxim Grimm, who won ours, I'm probably not going to bother then. If no one bothers to write anything, then I might write something just to sort of fill content. But because I have a couple of decent notes up until round 7, so we'll see where it goes from there. Constructed wise, I mean, in terms of Type 2, I've been playing a little bit, like a couple times a week here and there. Haven't really been playing online as much. And Type 2, I've been testing pretty much every kind of deck under the sun. I've tested Blue-Black Control, I've tested Black-Red Vampires, I tested the Pierre Canales Elves list. I don't really know what deck I really like at the moment. All I know is I don't really like the Blue-Black deck because I've had the worst results with it. And it's not that it's a hard deck to play or anything like that, but I don't know, like, it just doesn't feel like the deck I want to play. Because it's very painstaking to sit through certain matchups, and just it's not very pleasant overall. Anyways, on to pack 2 here. This pack has a few options for us. We could splash a Galvanic Blast, which is probably not the best choice here at this moment. Copper Mirrors in our color, Engulfing Slagworm, and hey, another Cyst Bear. And I think Cyst Bear is probably the best common infect creature. Very close to maybe Plague Stinger, but I actually probably would take Cyst Bear over Plague Stinger almost every time, unless my curve is like really dense with 3-drops. I mean, for other people, there's like Glinthawk Idols and Kemba Sky Guards and whatnot, but I think the pick for us is Cyst Bear, and we'll just take that and be happy with it. I'm gonna sort this by cost. Edge Champion here, Ichor Claw Rats for us, and there's both the Glinthawks and the Volition Reigns that if we could, I mean, Volition Reigns is an option. We still have that Argent Sphinx, but I don't think there's a reason for us not to take an Ichor Rats here. I keep saying Ichor Claw because there's the Ichor Claw Mirror, and then there's the Ichor Rats. Anyways, Ichor Rats for us. Wow, Jesus. Oh man. We could have had an Argent Sphinx, a Grand Arctic, and a Volition Reigns? Really? Jeez. Anyways. Otherwise, this pack has a Necropede for us. And a couple of Mana Mirror, which we could have picked up. Glinthawk, another Glinthawk. Is that 3 Glinthawk Idols in a row? Jeez. Our deck could have been like the nuts. But we went Infects, and I mean, that was a really late Cyst Bear. I think it's fine. We'll take it. But man, whoever has this blue artifact deck is going to be like kind of going crazy there. Anyways. This pack is kind of boring for us. We got maybe, I think Silvok Lifestaff's the best equipment of this pack. Obviously the Bard Battle Gear is not that great because most of the infect creatures die to it. Telegelad Defiance is an alright trick, but we might get that back on the wheel. Bladed Pinion's alright for evasion, but I'd probably rather have a Lifestaff since it actually gives power to our infect creatures, which is probably more important than evasion most of the time. So I'm going to take the Lifestaff. Nothing very great here. Probably Spellbomb's the only pick for us. There's a Stoic Rebuttal, and Soliton, and a bunch of other good blue cards for the guy who picks up the Grand Architect. But I'm taking the Spellbomb. This pack is pretty blah for us. We could take a Strider Harness or something like that, but I don't think we need to overload on equipments, actually. I mean, maybe, I don't know. I like 7 creatures. But I mean, if we want a Strider Harness, we'll get a Strider Harness. I'm going to take this Shatter. Since we have a Horizon Spellbomb, we might be able to, we could probably splash it. And if we see like an Arc Trail or a Galvanic Blast, we'll probably splash red, for sure, then. Pack is kind of empty. I'm going to take the Throne of Geth here, since we have a couple artifacts we can sack to it. And, Telegelad Defiance again, we saw one earlier, we might get that back on the wheel, so we'll pick it up if it does come back, but I'm not too worried if it doesn't come back anyways. I mean, it's a good trick, but, yeah. I'm going to cut this Darkslick Drake off, because it's pretty annoying for us, and the blue deck looks like it's getting a little nutty, so I'm cutting that off. Galma's Warden's probably in the same league, but, like, Darkslick Drake is so much value, I'm just, yeah, not letting that go by. Okay, that's... That Glinthawk Idol should not be here anymore. I'm actually rather I don't know, do I want to draft this Glinthawk Idol or take this Defiance? I feel like I need more cards, but over 15 cards, I need more creatures, but yeah, screw this. Goodbye, Idol. Like, I don't know. I didn't really feel too hard pressed to take the Telegelad Defiance there. Spellbomb. Fervor, I don't know, it's all bad. Soul Pair is pretty good against us, I'm going to take that out. Lumigrid Drake, sure, better than all these. I mean, actually we cut the Fervor out, but I didn't see any like Furnace Celebration, so I'm not too scared about Fervor. A bunch of blanks, take a Sack Outlet, I guess. Wing Puncture is a good sideboard card. Our deck's not the greatest, but it's not the worst either, so. We got 5 infect creatures. We need a little bit more work on it, but we'll see if we can get there. This pack, unfortunately, has no infect creatures. Kind of awkward. There's a Mirror Smith in here. There's a Sylvok replica, Untamed Might. I mean, I really like Untamed Might. I mean, it's very obvious why it's amazing in Infect, but I think I have to take the Sylvok replica here because we're short on creatures and it's a removal spell, so we'll take that. I mean, it's not going to be a win condition, obviously. Plus, it only has 1 power, so it's not like it would be a win condition if we're trying to damage them in the traditional fashion. But yeah, otherwise the other cards possibly is like Leaded Mirror, but I'd rather have a card that doubles as removal if it's not an effect creature. So that's a Skin Render. Hello. That's a Slice and Twain. They're both 2-for-1s in our color. I'll take the one that gives me a creature. Yeah. So anyways, we have a Skin Render now. I need to get a Tainted Strike and run business. But otherwise, I still need to find some more infect creatures. It's kind of a little awkward here with the... Oh, there we go. Now we get a Blight Mamba. Is a Scrap Melter in this pack still? Jeez, what's going on? Yeah, I guess. Yeah, take the Light Mamba. Tell Jedi Fallen. You make the cut. Other notable cards, Fume Spitter and Ember Smith. Well, obviously we can't play Ember Smith. I'm not splashing Ember Smith, obviously, so... Yeah, Fallen it is. That's a lot of Ember Smiths, jeez. But I think I can take Moriok Replica at this point. It's a creature, and it's utility, and yeah, good times. Carrion Call is an infect creature-ish type card, so I'll take that. Nothing here for us, unfortunately. I guess take the Shield maybe, or the Deus. Guess the Deus is okay. Sure. I don't know. Actually, I think the Shield is fine with most infect creatures, because giving them like vigilance and +3 or +0/+3 is actually pretty relevant because they're actually pretty small to begin with. So I'll take the Shield here. Seems fine. I haven't really used the Deus much in Scars of Mirrodin draft, but I mean I've heard mixed reviews about it. Like some people say it's really good, some people say it almost never makes their deck. So, ooh, that's a nice late Blight Mamba for us. So it looks like this deck is coming together now. We can take a Bladed Pinions of this pack, or cut a Saberclaw Golem. Maybe prioritizing evasion's a good thing. Yeah, I'll take the Blade Pinions. We'll see where that goes. Nothing here for us. I don't need another Wing Puncture, I think. I'm gonna cut his Sun Chaser out. Actually, no, wait. The Lockstone Wayfarer is really good against us. Take that out. Oh, that's a nice Fume Spitter. Sweet. None of these cards do anything. Bloodshot Training has a chance to get broken. I'm gonna cut that. Don't care about Scrappy. I've been killed by the Gavalier before. Take it out. Rebirth, and yeah, anyways. That doesn't look too bad. Got a few hits here and there. So, let's see what we got to work with. Got that guy, those, this dude. We can splash this. And this way, yep. Yep. I'll leave this on the side for now. Come back to it later. Put the shield on the side. I think the Bladed Pinions is probably better than the shield. Just because like the way our deck looks like it's gonna pan out. Because we don't have too much in ways of evasion. So I think the Bladed Pinion is probably going to help us more than the Quarter Shield. If we had a couple Plague Stingers, then that'd be a different story. I'd probably take the shield over the pinions in that case. So, just sorting things out in terms of spells and creatures. I'm going to count the Infestation and the Trigon and the Call as creatures. And yesterday was here. Yes, that's fine. So this is 23 cards without a Withstand Death and a Quarter Shield. We got 14 creatures. Of those creatures, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 infect-ish type creatures. I mean, counting the insect tokens, I guess that's fine. Earlier on, I guess we could have taken the, what was it? The Untamed Might. What did we take over that? Can't remember exactly. Trying to look through here. Maybe it was the Shatter? I think it was the Shatter. Was it? Yeah, it's probably the Shatter that we took over it. Like the Shatter could have been Untamed Might, but looking at our deck, we have like okay removal, but the Shatter gives us a little bit more options, I guess you could say. It kind of makes our mana a little bit awkward, but our mana shouldn't be too bad. We have a couple double black spells and one double green spell. Oh, we have a triple green spell, but that's much later in the game, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal. I mean, I guess this is fine. I don't have a problem with this deck right now as it is. I mean, I wish we could have like a Plague Stinger or two, but you know, take what you can get. We'll see how this pans out. Let's just sort by color. 4 black spells, a bunch of green spells, so I know how that's going to work out. See what Moto says. 971. I think that's pretty good actually. Gives us the mountain, enough black sources, enough green sources. Yes, should be fine. I accept. So I'm going to submit this, and we'll be back here for round 1.